Hi, in this video of Urban Informatics, we'll be looking at creating a pedestrian simulation online using a website called Pedcatch. To start, simply search for Pedcatch in Google and click on the first result. Once in, we can search up our location. In this case, let's search up Caulfield Hospital. And it's the first one on Kuyang Road. Just give it some time to load in. From here, we can see the different options such as our travel speed, our simulation timer, our starting points, our ground gradients, the isochron type. Let's just start to create an initial simulation. When we start, we can see that it generates quite quickly, and it just shows us the different possibilities of pedestrian walkway spanning from our initial starting point, which was that yellow start marker. As you can see, it's our progress over 10 minutes, and now it's complete. Next, we can change our settings a bit. Let's just change our speed to 2.2. Let's make our time half the timer to 5 minutes, and let's set our markers to 2 experimental. And we zoom in, and we can see we have 2 start points. Let's set our orange one to this nearby park, while our first one can remain at the hospital. And then let's hit start. As we can see, it's simultaneously generating a simulation from both of our points. And as we can see, the park is within 5 minutes walk of our hospital. And we can also see the other areas that it overlaps in 5 minutes. When we zoom in closely, we'll realize that our isochron type, convex hull, it creates like an average point of how far you can walk. This might not be very accurate to what we want, so we can always change that to a offset buffer. We click offset buffer and we start. As we can see, the path possibility is very different, as it is a lot more jagged and zigzaggy, as it would be in real life, as the simulation tries to mimic the different conditions and the road types, instead of just a straight line. Therefore, offset buffer is generally a more accurate form of a pedestrian simulation when it comes to distance traveled over a certain period of time. Next, we can export our data as a Kml scenario. So to do this, hit download Kml Scenario. This can take a bit of time. Once it's complete, it will pop up on the bottom as a download. So we can show in folder, and let's just save this into our own folder, just to make it easier for us later on. Once done, we will then open up Google Earth. So you click the first result, and then hit Launch Earth. We'll wait for it to load. Once we're in, on the left hand side, we need to create a new project, import a KML from computer, and select our KML file that we downloaded. When we open it up, we can see it spawn in, although we have to zoom in first, so just wait for it a bit. Let's navigate back, and then we zoom in back to our yellow dot, which is where it's imported. And there we go. As you can see, it's successfully imported into Google Earth. Google Earth also gives us the option to view our points in 3D, just in case we want to analyze it more in a 3D sort of context. And zoom in, zoom out. Back to 2D. That is the end of our tutorial on how to create a quick pedestrian simulation online using Pedcatch and Google Earth. Thank you.